world today is a defining moment. Hate mongers continue to drive a wedge between peoples and civilizations. Societies are divided across ethnic and religious lines. Racism, xenophobia, anti-Semitism, anti-Christian bigotry, Islamophobia and discrimination based on religion or belief are on the rise, often leading to a vicious circle of extreme violence and terrorist attacks.
In these troubled times, the United Nations Alliance of Civilizations, UNAOC, is a unique and inclusive platform for member states, the private sector, youth, civil society, and the media to exchange views and commit to dialogue and new partnerships. Created in 2005 as a special initiative of then United Nations Secretary General, Mr. Kofi Annan, and co-sponsored by the governments of Spain and Turkey, UNAOC feels an urgent and pressing need to fill a policy gap in the governance of cultural diversity, which is constantly being threatened by growing divisions between societies, the rise of violent extremism, the polarization of attitudes and world perceptions, and frequent manifestations of intolerance, racism, and bigotry.
The United Nations Alliance of Civilizations is closely aligned with my own priorities and the vision outlined in the prevention agenda. The Alliance is not a feel-good initiative. It is fundamental to peace, to security, to sustainable development, and to the world we need to build. The role of the Alliance of Civilizations has never been more relevant to our 2030 agenda objective of building more peaceful, just, and resilient societies.
As our world faces a global human crisis, as the pandemic exposed deep-seated inequalities, we are reminded every day of our common fragility and our interconnected fate. There is no alternative to standing together in unity and solidarity in inclusive societies. With its motto, "Many cultures, one humanity," the United Nations Alliance of Civilizations was created to embrace and promote cultural diversity, religious pluralism, but most of all, mutual respect.
There is no peace, no development, no security, and no human rights without accepting and embracing diversity as a richness rather than a threat.
To help reduce cross-cultural tensions and build bridges of understanding, we continue to develop and implement flagship programs with the aim of facilitating the global conversation on the challenges and opportunities of living in a landscape of diversity.
Our project activities are fashioned around 5 priority areas: education, youth, media, migration, and women as peace mediators.
Through the Intercultural Innovation Hub, we connect people and cultures, empower grassroots organizations by enabling them to reach their full potential, and elevate and scale up social innovations by offering holistic and lasting support.
Through our Youth Solidarity Fund, we support youth-led organizations around the world that foster peaceful and inclusive societies through seed funding and capacity building support.
With our Young Peace Builders Peace Education Initiative, we equip young people with skills to enhance their positive role in issues of peace and security and in preventing violent conflict.
With our fellowship program, we select young civil society leaders and professionals from Europe, North America, the Middle East, and North Africa for 2-week exchange trips between different countries, where they engage with local actors and key stakeholders to learn about intercultural dialogue.
Through Eden, empowering dialogue and interfaith networks, we provide young religious leaders and young media makers with a peer-to-peer learning space and build their capacity to prevent sectarian violence and counter terrorist narratives.
Through Sport for One Humanity, we elevate the universality of sport and its unifying power by strengthening the capacities of sports-based grassroots initiatives that promote sport as a tool for fostering diversity and inclusion.
With News Generation Against Hate, we empower young people to combat misinformation, hate speech, and stereotypes by promoting intercultural and interreligious understanding in the media.
Through Youth Reaching Peace, we aim to create a whole community movement towards sustainable peace through youth-led activities.
With Digital Games for Peace, we support youth in designing games that can be used as pedagogical tools for intercultural dialogue and social and emotional learning to prevent violent extremism.
As a global convener, UNAOC continues to advocate for the promotion of interreligious and intercultural dialogue. To this end, UNAOC continues to strengthen its cooperation and expand engagement with other UN agencies, multilateral entities, faith-based organizations, youth-led grassroots movements, civil society, the private sector, and other key stakeholders to promote a culture of peace, global citizenship education, the Youth, Peace and Security Agenda, the prevention and countering of violent extremism, as well as combating hate speech and racist rhetoric. It is through mobilizing concrete action from an international umbrella of sincere collaboration with state and non-state actors that we continue to foster cohesive and inclusive societies.
While we continue to respond to the United Nations agenda through our programming and policy advocacies, it is clear that we still have a long road ahead of us. Our work is far from done. Amid the current crisis, we need to work even harder towards building bridges between culture and civilization. We need to strengthen dialogue and understanding as the basis for cohesive, resilient, and inclusive societies. Today, more than ever, diversity is the reality that informs human life. Diversity means embracing pluralism in nation identities, beliefs, faiths, and tradition. Our cultures are tied to one another. Fundamentally, we are all global citizens of the world. We are many cultures, but we are one humanity.